Okay? So, next. Ayan. Energy and head. Ito pa, another pointers to consider in fluid flow. So, the energy possessed by a flowing fluid consists of. So, familiar naman kayo sa energy, no? Hindi yung energy gap. Iba yon, Milo yon. Okay. So, kapag sinabi nating energy, there are two lang ba? Pero I think, dalawa nga lang. May napatunay na ba tayong iba pa? So anyway, there are two types of energy na kinoconsider natin sa body. Potential and kinetic, diba? Potential energy meaning, yun yung medyo hindi pa gumagalaw, diba? At rest or as is. Ganyan lang. Tulala. Potential. Pero once na it is acted by if it is acted upon by an external force o bigla siyang inusog-usog ng kung ano-ano, nagiging siyang kinetic energy, diba? So, from potential, magiging kinetic. Ganun yun. Energy yun. Ngayon, dito sa ating flow, since we are talking about the tendency of the fluid to flow or move in a direction that is continuously, sabi nga dun sa definition. So, from potential energy, nagko-consider na tayo ngayon ng another kinetic energy. So, those two are the most important types of energy that we will be using for today. Okay? And then, ganito pa. Under the potential energy, meron tayo dyan dalawang parang sub-energy. Gets? Meaning, under ni potential energy, meron pa tayong dalawang types, no? So, si energy due to the elevation and si energy due to the pressure or the pressure energy and elevation energy. Now, when we say elevation energy, that is the potential energy possessed by the fluid by the virtue of position or elevation with respect to arbitrarily selected datum or datum. Okay? So, again, dahil nga potential, meaning hindi pa tayo gumagalaw. So, for example, this is your point 1 and then this is your point 2. So, definitely, mas mataas si point 2 kay point 1, di ba? So, there is a change in height between 1 and 2. And that height is papasok yan, lahat ng height, diba? Lahat ng height na nako-consider natin dito, papasok yan sa term na elevation. And yun yung part 1 of the potential energy na elevation. Okay? So, we consider elevation energy as W of Z. Weight, diba? W is the weight. And then, si Z naman is the height. So, weight times height, that is, I think, Newton meter, no? So, kaya nga siya energy, diba? Ang unit ng energy is Newton meter, or kumbaga, force times distance, diba? So, Newton meter. That is the first type of energy under potential energy, elevation. Next, we have here second, pressure energy. Pressure energy is the potential energy possessed by fluid due to pressure. Okay? So, ayan na. Dahil nga meron na tayong height kanina, ngayon naman, i-consider natin definitely is the pressure. Paano? Di, syempre, sabi nga sa inyo, diba, sa prelim pa lang, exposed na tayo sa pressure. So, when we talk about pressure, diba, a pressure of a liquid varies directly as the height changes. So, kapag sinabi nating pressure, so magkakaroon niya ng the property of unit weight, tapos multiplied by the height. So, kumbaga, dahil nga tayo ay under ng hydraulics, so, bukod sa elevation, another factor to consider here is the pressure. So, mahalaga rin ang pressure sa buhay natin. Okay. So, pressure energy is given as W times P over gamma. O, yun na nga. Sabi ko nga, P is gamma H, di ba? So, in terms of height, so, transpose ko dito sa kabila. So, we have P over Y. So, that is your height multiplied by weight. Kaya siya naging Newton meter. So, another energy pero in terms of pressure head multiplied by weight. O, diba? Pareho lang din naman siya energy. Ito nga lang, ito, nakafocus siya sa datum or sa height. Oo, dun sa difference in elevation of any points. Tapos ito namang pangalawa, nakafocus siya doon sa pressure ng liquid itself of the fluid. Kasi magkakaiba pa yan eh. So mamaya mayroon naman tayo mga sample problem para mas maintindihan ninyo kung bakit nagbabago-bago siya. Okay? So, ayan. So, mahalaga again yung elevation, yung pressure, tapos sunod na dun, yung kanyang kinetic energy. So, mamaya meron pa dyan mga head losses eh. Pero later on na lang siguro natin siya i-introduce. Okay? So, here, tapos tayo kay potential, proceed tayo kay kinetic. Si kinetic energy naman, sabi ko sa inyo, inusog. So, it is the ability of fluid to do work by virtue of velocity. Now, etong dalawang kanina is parang stagnant. Kumbaga as is siya. Kahit hindi mo siya galawin, potential siya. I mean, it is already given as potential. Ngayon, kapag naman dumaloy ng isang fluid from one point to another, say from point 1 to point 2, so there is, syempre, a change in direction, change in speed, change in time. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Hindi meron na tayong papasok na dyan yung formula ni velocity. So, 'di ba? Basic formula ng kinetic energy is 1/2 mv squared. So, from physics or kinematics, tama ba? So, kinetic energy is defined as your 1/2 mv squared. K yan. Yeah, constant yan. Ngayon, nagina lang siyang WV squared over 2G. Galing yan kay, 'di ba? Weight is mass times gravity. So, kung i-transpose ko si gravity sa kabila, so W over G is equal to your mass. Now, i-substitute ko na siya dito sa formula ng mass. So, W over G. Okay? So, may napansin? So, ibig sabihin, W times V squared over 2G, yan din is equal to your kinetic energy. So, pareho lang naman yan. Itong M is mass, tapos itong W na to is weight. Okay? So, mass times gravity lang naman yan. Mass times acceleration due to gravity. Ayan. So, dito lang din naman galing. 1/2 mv is squared. Okay. Ano pa? Pang-pointers to consider. Ayan. So, ito is in terms of energy. So, lahat ng makukuha mo dyan na unit is in terms of Newton meter or pound feet kung naka-English. Ngayon, i-transfer ko siya into head or meter. Diyos ko po. Meter. So, lahat ng tinatawag nating head or ulo, huwag kayong green. So, lahat ng head na tatawagin natin dito is naka-in terms na siya ng meter, no? Meter, or, sige, or feet. Sorry, masyado tayong bias kay SI. So, meter or feet. Kasi nga, head is the amount of energy per pound or newton or fluid. So, kumbaga, balik tayo doon, no? So, kung ang elevation energy, if elevation energy mali na spelling ko, elevation energy is in terms of newton per meter. So, kung ang head is amount of energy per pound or newton or fluid, so divided by newton, magka-cancel out lang din naman yung newton, no? So, ang energy, elevation head na tinatawag is nag-cancel lang yung Newton or pound. So, that is already meter. Okay? So, introduction lang to. Kasi, later on, ang ating pagbabasehan na is through head na lang. No? Kahit wag na natin i-consider itong elevation energy, pressure energy, or kinetic energy. We will be focusing now on the elevation head, pressure head, and velocity head. Na yan ay isang unit of distance or meter na lang. Meter ha, okay? Ngayon, sabi ko nga, kung per pound or newton of fluid siya, so divided by weight itself, so WZ divided by W, so magka-cancel out lang din naman yung W niya. So, ang final elevation head mo is the term Z. Z ha, take note of that letter, Z. And then, sa pressure head naman, so, di ba, kanina WP over gamma. So, divided by W or the weight. So, magka-cancel out yung dalawang W dyan. So, P over Y. Pressure head. P over Y. So, napansin nyo dun sa prelim, kahit pa sabihin ko na nagsasummation ako ng gamma H sa pressure, may iba sa inyo na gumagamit talaga ng term na P over Y. Kahit ito yung una kong inintroduce talaga. Pero yung iba sa inyo, ito talaga ang gamit na formula. Kasi nga, pressure head yun. So, that is in terms of meter already. So, P over Y. Take note of this 3 ha. Z, P over Y. And then, the velocity head. So, balik ako kay velocity. 'Di ba? Velocity is from the kinetic energy. So, napalitan lang siya ng term na velocity kasi mas nakafocus na tayo sa velocity. No? So, kahit hindi mo na siya tawagin as kinetic head, mas kilala siya sa term na velocity head na. Okay? So, kalimutan mo na si kinetic. So, velocity is WV squared over 2g. Now, dividing both terms by W, magka-cancel out lang naman. So, the final unit is in terms of V squared over 2g. Yeah. So, take note of these 3. No? Si Z, si P over Y, saka si velocity squared over 2G. Okay. Now, to add that up, kumbaga, kukunin natin yung sum nitong tatlong to from potential energy to kinetic energy. So, that is now the total energy of the fluid flow. Okay? So, when we say total energy, so that is your big letter E. E now is equal to, syempre, kinetic nga plus potential. That is equal to itong WV squared over 2G, which is your kinetic energy, plus WP over Y, which is your pressure energy, plus WZ, which is your elevation elevation energy. So, this is summation of energy. Itong first term sa taas. Okay? So, summation lang yan ng tatlo dito sa kabilang slide, ha? EE plus PE plus KE. Malinaw. Okay. Next. Summation naman ng total head. So, summation of total head, ito ng tatlo. Itong tatlong nasa box na nandito sa slide. So, elevation head is equal to Z plus pressure head, yung P over gamma, plus velocity head, which is V squared over 2G. Okay? So, sa makatuwid, this is the summation of your pressure. Your head. So, yan. And you have usually, ito lang ang gamit talaga natin. Si V squared over 2G plus P over Y plus V squared over 2G. Plus C. Plus C pala, sorry. Okay? So, summation of kinetic to potential. Next.